Should you go to school to study animation? And when I say school, I mean a brick and mortar type of school, traditional college. Personally, I've been to both. I've been to college and I've taken online schooling. And the answer is it depends. It depends what you're looking for. It depends on where you're coming from and what you want to achieve when studying animation. So let's start with the positive side of studying animation in a brick and mortar school. And that is, of course, the community that you can build and the connections you can build. Another advantage is that you touch on a lot of different things instead of just focusing on something specific out of the gate. So if you don't know if you want to follow, just say animation, for instance, you know that you like animation, but you don't know which area to focus on. A traditional school would cover a lot of the basics, anything from drawing, painting, color theory, 3D basics, modeling, rigging, a lot of this stuff, right? And more even. On the other hand, you also have classes that are more theory-based, like art history and things of that nature. So if you're good in anything like that and you enjoy it, then that's great. After college, normally you would have an understanding of what it is to be a generalist. You could potentially get a job as a generalist. However, studios look for people that are specialists in their area. Now, nowadays, you might find specialists with a little bit of touching on other things, but for junior positions, they normally look for specialized artists. Now, if you are also from a different country, like I was, right? And I wanted to work in the States because a lot of the studios that I admired and inspired me throughout my childhood were in the States. I mean, some of them are in Canada and Europe as well. But for me personally, I wanted to pursue something in the States. So for me, it did make sense to go to college here. That opens up more opportunities and chances of getting jobs in the United States. If you don't particularly care about getting a job in the States, you're open to anything and everything else, and don't care about it being harder to get into the States, as hard as it is already, then this is not a factor for you. I must say, though, that just getting a degree in the States does not mean or guarantee that you're going to get a job in the States. It just opens up the opportunity for you to work for at least 2 years after graduation for specific studios that are what's called E-verified studios. A lot of them are, some are not, but you have that chance and then you can work your way from there. Another reason to pick college would be that if you eventually want to teach an accredited school, like another college or whatnot, then having the degree also is going to help you achieve that. Although you're going to need a master's degree to do that. So it'll be another at least 2 more years after those 4 years of a bachelor's. Now let's touch on the downsides of going to college. So the first one would be price, of course. That's the most obvious one. Going to college, particularly in the United States, is very expensive. Like very expensive. And the prices are increasing every year. On top of that, you also have to pay for room and board, for meal plans, and anything else outside of, classes and whatnot. So that's something you have to really consider when choosing which college to go to and if you even want to go to college. Depending on the college you pick, you're also going to need a portfolio to get accepted in most colleges, at least. Some others are going to give you scholarships if you have a really good portfolio. And this portfolio can vary what they're looking for. I'm sure you can reach out to different colleges and they're going to give you information on what they're expecting to see from applicants. Now, every step of the way, you're going to have to pay your way, right? From the application, you have to pay an application fee and so on and so forth. So everything costs a ton of money. So this is, to me, is the biggest issue with going to college, okay? Now in the States, you can get loans that allow you to, go to college, graduate, and later on start paying those loans. You can decide whether or not you want to do that, because I'm not going to say it is a trap, but it's a hard thing to get into. It's a lot of debt you're going to acquire, and you're starting your career below zero, basically below the line of making money, actually, because you have to pay for this stuff for years to come. Now, what is the alternative here? Well, we know that for our industry in animation or video games, degrees and titles mean nothing. Nobody cares if you graduated from any particular school or anything like that. What really matters is your portfolio, your reel in the case of an animation job. So that's the heaviest thing that weighs when you send your application, okay? Now, what are the other options? The other options, okay, is always, of course, you can learn it by yourself, whatever craft you want. Now, today, there's a lot of free resources out there. There's YouTube, and there's a bunch of other things that you can find online. You can even reach out to people to give you feedback on things that you're working on, your shots, your drawings, or whatever it may be. But I think this is the hardest path to take, to be honest. You're on your own, learning from an unorganized source, right, which is the internet. And no matter how motivated you are, how passionate you are, you're going to hit some walls there that are hard to pass. And it's easier and better if you have been guided by someone to take a specific path and grow your skills progressively, okay? You don't want to jump into harder things without knowing more basic stuff. So the other option you have is learning from actually courses online. Like there's a bunch of them today. When I was starting out, there weren't so many. For animation, for instance, there's a lot of good options out there. So you have Animation Mentor, of course. That was the first one that started this whole trend. Then you have iAnimate, you have Anim School, you have Animation Collaborative, which is really great. I've been there, took several classes there. And you also have Kyosil, I think is pronounced. But yeah, you can see that you have several options. And honestly, what you should do if you're considering any of these schools is go into the websites, look at the reels of the students, and whichever reel you like the most. Every school has a bit of a different style, so pick whichever one attracts you the most and try it out. You can take a trimester, and if you like it, you continue. If you don't like it, you can always choose a different school. These schools usually have tracks or programs that are intended for you to follow, so you follow a linear path of progression, okay? Now, what are the advantages of these online schools? For starters, it's a lot cheaper than a traditional brick and mortar school. You can do it from home as well, so you don't have to pay for room and board anywhere. You can do it from your parents' house if that's where you're at. You're also being taught by professionals that are currently in the industry, as opposed to most times in a brick and mortar school. What happens is your teachers are people that have left the industry a while ago, so they're not updated necessarily technically. And I also feel like their eye for what's good has shifted a little bit from when they were in the industry, okay? Because they've been looking so much at student work that they become more forgiving in a sense, okay? Other great things is, depending on the school, you'll have the classes recorded, so you can refer to them after class, revisit your notes, write them down, and tackle whatever you need to tackle. They also have a library of lectures that may help you understand things a bit better. Sometimes, depending on your school, they have these libraries taught by different instructors, so you are taught the same things, maybe slightly different by different instructors, so it helps you get it a little bit better in your head, okay? Another advantage of online school is also that it's very centralized in what you want to learn. So if you already know that you're going to do animation or drawing or whatnot, you just look for that school or that program that's going to teach you that specific thing, okay? Now, this may be a good thing or a bad thing depending on your case, okay? But for instance, for animation, this is what it's focused on, okay? You can find other schools that focus more on different areas as well, like drawing and whatnot, okay? Now, the downside about online schools is the community, okay? Usually, you don't build connections as easier as it is when you're in person working with someone, okay, in a classroom. So it's not that you don't get to make any connections, but it's just a little bit harder, okay? There's not that personal relationship that you may have with someone that is sitting right next to you, and you can ask questions and talk about, what you're struggling with and learning with that person. I think that's one of the greatest things of a brick and mortar school is you're all suffering in the same room together, right? Like doing all-nighters or staying up late at night working to get an assignment done. And lastly, one more way that you can learn these things is by having private mentors, okay? Now, again, this is very similar to online schools, but it's more personalized just for you. Usually in online schools, you have a group of people, depending on the course and the class. You might be somewhere between 5 and 10 at the most. I don't think I've ever seen a class more than 10. But when you find a personal mentor, this person is just there for you, okay? So you do personal calls with them, meetings, they go over your work, taking their time. It's not rushed or anything like that because they don't have to attend other people, just solely for you. Whenever you have an issue, they are there for you to get over it and keep moving forward. And also, it's not so much of this class we're gonna do this and this class we're gonna do that, but it's more personalized for you. They meet you where you're at, and then the mentor recommends different exercises and assignments so you can grow from that spot on, okay? They look into your understanding of basics and see if they're strong enough to keep moving forward. They normally don't let you keep moving forward if you're not ready. At least that's how I do it. Now, the thing is, usually these programs are a bit more expensive than a regular online school, but it's up to you to decide whether or not it's valuable to have that one-on-one concentrated attention, okay? So in the end, should you go to a brick and mortar school or pick the online path? That is going to be completely up to you and your case only, okay? In my opinion, then there is no one answer to this, and it's whether or not you respond better to one form or the other, and whether or not you can afford one or the other. So I hope this helps, and if you have any questions, please leave it down below. Consider subscribing and leaving a like if you can to help my channel a little bit. And I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.